Were the days how fast they would change. Now I'm standing here wishing back to that way. What we got is hard to find. Without you, girl, I'm paralyzed. I want you back here, you and I won't give up, I can't deny that you'll come back. I'm giving you time. I'm trying so hard to not say goodbye. You've gone and you've left your shadows behind. Girl, you are something else. Why can't we work this out? 'Cause you make me feel love is for real when I've got you by my side. And I can't forget the day that we met. I want you to realize what we've got is hard to find.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Belong Arena Clash. Welcome to Rocket League Week 2 as we get into the second week of our group stage. Doubleheader matches up for today's broadcast on the Eternal J. I'm joined by Digital Bay. How you doing, man?
I'm doing quite good. I'm excited to get into today because we have got two fantastic matches to take us on. Straight up, first on the stream is going to be like the... I'm going to say a little taster for what we expect this season's finals to be. Is, of course, the Spartans going up against the
I love it how you completely... You were so hyped, so ready, so ready.
It was mainly because in my head I was like, Stratford, Spartans. Why am I doing that? I can't believe it. It's just because we didn't get them last season. We didn't get any Spartan team last season. So you sort of forget about them. But they've come back swinging, haven't they?
Well, I didn't forget because they are my club. And speaking of clubs, let's take a look at how the clubs are doing. Let's see how let's have a look at how the arenas are handling themselves in the group stage. Let's take a look at the top half of Group 1. The victory is coming through for the Guardians, the Spartans, the Vikings, and the Claymores. Last season's champions, starting things off on the right foot here, Bacon.
Yeah, pretty much business as usual for these four teams. You didn't expect anything else, of course, with these opening matches. Generally, they're quite weighted one-sidedly, and it's this week which you're going to see teams that are a lot closer in caliber come up against each other. As we quickly move on to the lower half of the bracket here, Jay, we're going to be able to see the teams that, have got a C on the report card, a little bit more extra work needed as we look at the Lionheart, Spectres, Rams, and Leviathans.
I mean, in fairness, I would say that that's roughly the results that we were expecting, considering the top seeds are sort of in the top half of that group and the bottom seeds are still in the bottom half of the group. So it makes a whole lot of sense. A bit of a shame that the Lionhearts have started things off on the wrong foot, though, because, that team is still pretty good at their own right. So I'll be curious to see.
It was a close match against the Claymores, we have to say. 3-2 going to the Claymores. Lionhearts, they're a team that, mind a little bit of improvement, Taggers and the boys. you expect them to bounce back. But looking at Group B here, Jay, Group 2, look at these right now. Pirates, Saints, Nighthawks, and Smugglers all on top. I have to say, a brilliant showcase for the first week.
Yeah, I'm pretty standard actually. Once again, I think that for the most part, all the week 1 results kind of went the way that we expected them to. We can take a look at the bottom half of the table in a moment and see sort of like who those bottom seeded teams were. Obviously, I mean, obviously expecting them to have the early losses in this group. But not really too many surprises, you know. Again, the Nighthawks, the Smugglers, the Swarm, the Invincibles. We saw the Invincibles last week and they had a pretty decent little showing, but they were still a relatively new team, and for the most part, these teams are also relatively new.
Yeah, and looking at this right now, we've got quite an interesting rivalry going on this way. The Battle of Bristol. Bristol Smugglers going up against Bristol Brawlers. Smugglers have been in for a while. Brawlers coming in this season with a pretty strong team, so that's quite interesting. But of course, that's not on stream. We're going to be looking at this first match coming on up today. Like we said, the Spartans going up against the Claymores. Jay, talk me about these 3 lines.
Oh, that's a sexy little screen right there.
Oh, it is.
Look at that. You see the Claymores obviously beat the MK Enigmas last season. That doesn't mean that the official record for them in terms of on-land victories is still 2-1 to the favour of the Enigmas, but Claymores are actually returning, whereas the Enigmas didn't. But the Stratford Spartans, like, we were thinking to ourselves, like, oh, with the loss of the team of green, we weren't really sure who was going to step up to fill that role of the rivals essentially to the Glaswegians. And, well, this is it. I mean, oh boy. Crisis, Boy Skill Q, Zeph, and even Musty, the legend himself, in that sub-role for the Spartans. So, you know.
When we look at this right now, if we weren't talking Arena Clash, I would actually favour the Spartans here. But the Arena Clash is the Claymores' home turf, essentially. How are you going to come on in and knock them off their pedestal? It's going to take one momentous task, Jay, but when we look at predictions, I think Spartans can do it today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, I'm kind of like having faith I'm kind of having favour with the Crisis, I think, you know. This is more important than anything else. Yes, that's a pun, I know.
Wow,
but, you know, especially, that's the thing. Like, I have a lot of faith in the UK teams, you know, in the UK players themselves. And, like, Crisis is one of those guys that we've seen around for the better part of a year now. Like, I think he first cropped up to my radar during the Renegade Cup, and he was still competing in the Rival Series qualifiers. He's still being able to hold his own in a lot of different areas. And here for the Stratford Spartans, I think it's going to be a big old pickup for him to sort of, like, step up to the plate. But Boy School Q is one guy that you obviously have mentioned in the past as being you know, a really big player in his own right.
And then we can't forget about Zeph there, who's currently the sub for Awkward Turtles in the RLRS. We saw him step on up to that RLRS caliber. He had to someone in, I think, for 2 series last season. So he's definitely had that chance to play at the very top level of Rocket League. But looking at this right now, he's coming on into a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere because it's going down to your local shop, going down to your local arena, and playing there more for fun in these lower stages for these players, because they know that really when it comes to it, it is on that LAN environment at Insomnia, and each and every week they're just going to grind it on out, have a little bit of fun, learn each other. And right here, this is the best practice they have for Insomnia, because it is going up against the team we expect to see them there.
We'll have to see who will get the early advantage in this particular series. We're ready to see who's going to take game number 1 here. Bacon, you're on the Stratford Hype Train. Of course, I'm on the Stratford Hype Train because they are my local club. East London represent. Let's do this, boys. Stratford in the red half. Claymores over on the blue side of the pitch. And this start out does allow Chief a little bit of control, passing back and forth between the chemistry of the Claymores, though. Does allow Calzafay in with an opening shot. Calzafay already also being a player in the rival series for a little bit. Ball out from Zeph as he takes this ball up against Crisis. Passes going to be missed a little bit on the Stratford Spartans.
Yeah, a very interesting opening. A lot of control coming out from the Claymores, but now is time to shine for the Spartans. Not really the greatest touches on that, but they're keeping it down, they're keeping it safe against that backcourt. Not able to hold down that midfield line.
Chief over to the backboard. Shot's going to get missed out against by Zeph. We'll bump him out of the way for the moment. There are a couple of good challenges coming up as it goes to the ceiling and into the corner. Chief, no points of boost by Boy School Q, passing into the centre line as Shots goes back off the backboard. It will bounce up. Calzafay leaving it for Shots. It feels backflip man there, but double commit from Zeph and Boy School Q. Leaving a couple of open lines in the Stratford Spartans setup, but into the midfield it will go. Calzafay, 16 HP, beaten out by Crisis with that block off. Chief will take control. The Claymores trying to get the majority of the offensive set up here. Could pass in, but Calzafay a bit too far back.
Yeah, good recovery for him as well, just to get that block. You can already see so much space being used right now by the Claymores. Christ, is not able to get that finishing touch. Zeph doing great work to barrel on through. Very even so far, Jay. Brilliant to see.
Yeah, Boys School Q and Co, however, forced to rotate back, and the Claymores playing a little bit too slow to where the ball actually is. Good shot coming in from Boys School Q that is defended by Calzafay as he gets off the net ceiling and keeps away from the danger zone. Shots also challenged. Calzafay and Chief are back in the back line, able to defend from the box. Bump in from Crisis to Boys School Q comes in. Also challenged by Calzafay as they get it away from the corner. Backboard play. Zep with a dunk down chance, and it will be denied by the Claymores defensive. So far looking confident on that blue side of the court. Pass up from Calzafay to shots again. Should get blocked by the Spartans, so no real troubles again from the red half, let alone the blue half.
Yeah, spectacular defense coming out from both sides as well. Really getting those touches when they need them. And there, once again, by shot. Yes, the 50-50 doesn't get out of his half, but he's able to slow it on down, go grab that midfield boost. It'll allow the back boost tanks to be available to his teammates, and then they can build up from there. Really, really clever work. Now, good idea on the bump, but not going to be enough.
Bumps from shots, almost pushes Zeph out of the way, but not enough accuracy and control. That interception from Calzafay, though, will be enough to get the first in on the board for the Claymores.
The idea right now for Boys School Q is to set up a pass. He's aiming for Zeph, and then they can just near enough bam it straight downfield. The problem is they are so projected. It was such a slow hit off the wall. Calzafay is easily able to get up in the air and then pummel it down into the net.
Well, shots taking that kickoff alongside another Claymores player. Chief coming in. Good shot from Calzafay. A small feint in the back line as he gets the shot in. Nice open net for him, 2-0.
Jay, I'm worried right now. We were both there repping the Spartans, but they've been struggling to get anywhere near the Claymores net. They've got to really turn this up right now. They've got basic set right. They just need to get a bit more aggressive, I think, and this is a good sign coming on out.
Block off from shots, though, will deny the Spartans one more time. Chief into the centre line, Boys School Q. Keep the pressure going from that corner. Shots missed. Good shot in, though, from Boys School as he waits up there, lurks in the front lines and gets the shot in. The first goal scored by Stratford Spartans.
Yeah, what did he predict here? Because that was such a close whiff coming on out by the defense of the Claymores. Boys School Q, I'm going to call it as lucky right there. Like that, he don't get me wrong, you can wait underneath and hope for those mistakes, and sometimes you'll get a reward like that. But they don't happen too often.
Calzafay up, challenged again by Crisis. Chief will also take this high to the corner. Ooh, second touch from Boys School Q. Is that honest off the backboard? He gets it in! Alrighty then. You highlighted this kid, and apparently he's worth every single word.
He is indeed. Unfortunate there for Chief, not able to get the block. And shots. Should have flipped forward, not back. He'll be hating himself for that. As we just started doubting the Spartans, they bring it back 2-all.
Ball in from Chief, from Calzafay, clearing it out to the red half. Claymores trying to set up that offensive pressure that got them so far here, but Crisis is back on the prowl. Boys School Q lurking in the centre line. We'll get the last touch into that ball before it goes AWire. Zeph passing to Boys School, getting to the backboard. Chief will have to take that off wide. Still pass back in. Ooh, a good shot that's just put a little bit too far wide. A fast one coming in from the Clyde Claymores, and now shot's got his control. Picked up by Crisis, back over to the midfield challenge. We shall go here. A minute on the clock, and Boys School off the backboard. Receiver coming in from Zeph. He puts it close, but a light touch on the ball will allow a Clyde Claymores counter-attack, which will go up towards Chief, but just can't put this one down the centre line.
Claymore's position is really tricky right now, Jake, because notice how after all these 50-50s, there is a route to net. They've got to clean that up. Price is going for the demo and does get it after the boost is taken. Could hurt the Claymores. So they've got to somehow recover, get this ball under control, and they can't just throw it downfield anymore. Nice little flick coming out there. Follow through, not good enough though, and it's straight back down into the Claymores back end.
And just outside of that box, no shots coming in from the Spartan side. That pass up from Boys School Q's a little bit high. Third man can't commit though. Crisis has gone back for boost. And plenty of it left for him on the defense. That demo in from Boys School Q will take shots out of the picture, but Crisis set up here for a decent shot. Excuse me, Chief set up for a decent shot. Follow through from shots will come in from the back line respawn. And now Zeph in with his own control, bouncing from the sideboard, desperate to get it inside that box, and the pass up to Chief will kill it on the floor, and we'll be in overtime for game 1.
I'm loving it. I picked Spartans the back here today for prediction, largely because I want the upset. You know, the Claymores finally getting knocked down a peg. They have gone without a loss for so long now, and it seems like it could happen.
Oh, shots coming in with a dribble. Zeph manages to beat him and his backup. Chief also pinching it out. Calzafe coming up. He's got to try and get this off the backboard. 2 players committing to this. A dangerous position. The Chief takes control of. Zeph just pinches it underneath him. You see the Spartans not looking as confident in the back line here in overtime as they were in the early part of the game itself. Challenges up from Zeph again. Will be taken by the Claymores. Calzafe, nice little doink in, and that is just defended by Boys School Q. Gets back in time, but you can see Claymores are trying to pull out a little extra stop or two to put Spartans back in their place. Ball set up over towards Chief, a little bit too fast though, and again, they're just not far forward enough.
Yeah, and Calzafe there. Seen, if he knew the connection wasn't coming forward, he could have moved in and got the final touch on that as well. Claymores are questioning themselves a little bit. They are actually really struggling here. They're using a lot of good width, yes, but they've just got to be a bit more decisive.
Mate, when those shots come in from the Spartans, they are like laser focused and accurate. But the pressure coming in from the Claymores, I mean, a bit more reckless, but it is looking pretty confident. That back from Zeph, though, not 100% ideal. Crisis also with no boost. Challenge on towards shots. He had no choice. Neither has Zeph, also very limited on boost. Crisis with 54 in the midfield, trying to bump some of the Claymores out of the way, but they still maintain presence and control over the ball. Boys School Q in a very awkward position, and shots almost punishes, but Crisis, they're just pinching it off the crossbar. Calzafe moving further forward outside of this corner, still in the 100 boost in the back line, and the Claymores are getting dangerously close to scoring this end-off goal. That being said, it's returned out. Zeph, Zeph! That was brilliant for the Spartans. One small advantage, one breakaway opportunity, and he puts an absolute banger in the back of the net.
Zeph went into that with just 11 boost, is able to pick up the little pad and then can just hammer it on in. But we have to say, it all comes off of that fantastic pass / clear downfield from Boys School Q. That absolute bullet was redirected. It ricocheted into the net, and you just love to see it.
And the cool thing about that is that this is the first time that I personally have seen Boys School Q. I've never seen him outside of any other competition. So, like,
how?
I don't know. That's the thing, right? You've repped him so much, so
I did a lot of work during the off season, so I saw him so much.
In fairness, I was busy doing CS:GO stuff, so there's always that caveat that you would be the expert.
He was massive on the Wind and Rain roster.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about, because for first impressions for me, like, he does not look like a player from the community scene. He looks closer to like a mid-tier bubble level sort of player at the very least.
That is exactly it. He is right up there. Coming into the recent RLRS qualifiers, he was one of these teams that you would give as a wild card. You know, it was a top 32 sort of potential, so, you know, if it was on the day, they could have run it. Unfortunately, they didn't have such a great play-ins, but looking here, you can see that he is of top tier straight away. A little bit like the Gears of War earlier. You do just have those teams that are that one step above the rest, and it's fantastic to see. It's what I love in these competitions is that, yeah, we've got that top end level, but we've also got those like ranked warriors of champ level that when they get to go up against players like Boys School Q, you know, Zeph, Shots, Calzafe, they're going to learn so much in how to improve their Rocket League when they face off against them.
Well, I have to say, Boys School Q was certainly the standout element for the Stratford Spartans.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see whether he will end up being their main winning factor going into game number 2. But for now, it is a big start for the Spartans. Their first game on stream, potentially their second win. But this from Calzafe still looking a little bit awkward. You know, I'm sold on the offensive at the very least, but this backline defensive for the Spartans is kind of looking a little bit awkward for me, Bacon. And when they find those breakaway chances, I'm absolutely certain that they'll be able to hold it on. But a couple of awkward back passes and opportunities being opened up for the Claymores, that pressure can really get to them. But his first shot from Boys School Q, did he get it? Not quite.
As the smoke clears, it's all okay, it's all safe, don't worry so much. You talk about this defense, it might look a little bit awkward, but that's just because they're trying to do these weak shots. Oh, so close to the mark there. Good follow-up as Zeph can just hammer that into the net. Boys School Q might have not been able to get the goal bill, get the setup here.
Lovely stuff. Shots. No idea where that was coming in. Caught flat-footed in the net. And that is the
got time
first.
to react to that.
Exactly. First on the board for the Spartans side. Zeph and Shots take the kickoff. Calzafe there to receive it. Nice control, but again, a very slow ball, and Boys School Q able to read it regardless. Demos in from Crisis in that midfield. Chief will be challenged by Zeph moving forward here. Nice open backline. The Calzafe and Shots will come up to fill. In goes Calzafe with a dribble. Good push back over. Chief has to move it back downfield. This should be received pretty easily by Boys School Q. Indeed it is. Back over to Crisis with the challenges. Left a little bit of breathing room for Shots, and against the Claymores you don't want to leave any breathing room because they'll take it wholeheartedly. No run through with it. Shots! Slightly mispositioned there inside the box, and they whiff the best chance for Claymores to return back to evens, and Crisis and Zeph return to the blue half, punish them in whole.
And that is a massive punishment right there. The highest degree. Great stuff there from Zeph to get that little touch with Warmth in such an awkward place. Crisis to follow up. But I'm not even going to have a go at Shots. He did all the work he needed to do. It comes down to a second man to swoop on in and score upon that open net. Shots shouldn't have been the only one working on that attack.
Oh, Calzafe, what was that?
The bait and definitely a shake. Look at that. Boys School Q tease it up for Calzafe there, and all he's just got to do is put a foot behind it. Or a wheel in this case.
That was brilliant. I love that. Oh, the Stratford Spartans. Again, Sturley starts coming through for them, but the Claymores are putting the pressure back on. The ball goes up towards that box. Boys School Q tries to set it up for Crisis. He's not going to be able to get far with it. Shots can take it away from this corner. Bounce out again in towards Zeph. Great receival, and the communication from the Spartans is just on point in game 2.
Ah, so many little whiffs there coming out from the Claymores, and it shows the nuances of Rocket League, just the tiny little margins that can go from a save, a block, to near enough an open net.
3-1 now, and the Spartans are coming into their own, quite pressured and heavily contested in game 1. In game 2, the same cannot be said. Big miss from Chief there. Oh, an open ball as well. Calzafe couldn't get his touch in. Shots is the man that has to hold the defense. Zeph controls him from the midfield, blocked off again. Boys School Q will take it to the backboard. Calzafe missing again. Boys School Q just denied by a rotating player from the Claymore side, but these are a lot of uncharacteristic touches that are allowing the Spartans to gain every little piece of control they need here, Bacon.
And it's all coming down, I think, to a little bit of a lack of confidence in the Claymores. That's why they're whiffing like this. Generally, you see it in Rocket League. Whiffs come out from lack of confidence where you're just not feeling 100%. Shots, you can see normally he'd be able to hold on to that. Yes, it's all because he was lacking boost, but normally he put himself in a position where he had 100 for that challenge, not roughly about the 70 that he had to go in with it.
Oh, Chief double flipping, trying to bump someone out of the way. Shots could not connect this one accurate, and he has been missing a lot today. Not quite the same sort of player that we saw in the winter season. As Calzafe goes up against Shots being challenged over towards Zeph in that demo. Shots in off the ceiling.
He's got no options there, Jay.
Here comes Crisis at the backboard. This is a perfect opportunity opening up. Zeph puts this one close. Chief will take it away, but that ball is perfectly set up for a dunk down chance. It is Calzafe in to save.
Yeah, but look at this, the control being held off. Zeph just going to try and wheel that on back. Give it a boy score. It does work even with the demo. A little whiff coming out there, but you notice just the helping hands that Spartans have, where they're continuously following each other up, making sure, oh, if you don't have the best touch on that, I can come on in and supply it. This is a massive difference, and you got to think these guys do not play together on the weekly until, of course, the arena clash. And the Spartans, they already look like a fully formed team.
Oh, Boys School Q coming through so close, but unable to make it happen. Calzafe, though, again out of the breakaway. That's 2 goals for him and 2 for the Claymores here. 1 minute and 11 to recover 1, Bacon. They're not out of the woods just yet on the Spartan side.
Yeah, Calzafe, for the second time now, has just found that little route to net they need. So there are gaps in the Spartans' rotations, but it can't just all be down to Calzafe. Shots, and of course Chief, really need to step up. I'm expecting with passing plays, we've seen a lot of solo plays coming on out. They need to just get their heads together and get back in the game.
60 seconds to try and do just that. That ball in, saved by Boys School Q. Zeph puts it back over to him. He pushes it out at the midfield line. Chief, Calcife, challenge. Boy School Q comes up one more time in from the backboard. Shots will put it away. He has no choice. Under boost stolen from him. He goes in with a great dribble shot. A little bit high. Recovery from Calcife. Feels backflip, man. And Boy School Q can return. Chief putting it over. Shot's going to take it out of position here, Bacon.
Will indeed, and yeah, Calcife got dragged off to the side there, a contention I think from Crisis, so fantastic stuff from the Spartans to be able to hold that away, and you notice they're on the attack once again, and they look absolutely rapid there. I have noticed Claymores are trying to gain a hold of the macro management level, the boost of the pitch, but nothing is working. Spartans are counteracting that, but just not going for those 100 pads. They can see right ahead what Claymores are doing. They are reading them like a textbook.
Oh, what a challenge. What a block there at the end to stop anyone from getting anywhere near that ball. So not saved by the Claymores. A 2-0 start for the Spartans on match point already. They have looked really impressive, though, Bacon.
For me, you got to think that first 2-minute period of game one, the Spartans didn't look that convincing, did they? But then suddenly they worked out how to take on the Claymores. They racked their heads together and suddenly really came swinging, and it has not stopped since. I'm worried right now. If the Claymores do not pull up their socks, this is going to be a 3-0, and I don't think we were expecting that coming into this match today. We were there like, oh, it's going to go to game 5.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
easily game 5. Right now we're there going, I guess we're just terrible Rocket League analysts.
Apparently so. I mean, in fairness, though, you wouldn't have expected last season's champions to be dismantled like this.
No.
You know, like I don't think anyone would have predicted that. Anyone with a decent mind, at least. You know, we expected this to be one of the closest matches of the whole season. We expected this to be our grand final, and if this is our grand final, we're going to be expecting a 4-0. I think at Insomnia.
It's going to be a short moment on the stage up in Insomnia.
Apparently, it would be, but that's only if the Claymores can't turn it around between then and now. And of course, they've got a perfect opportunity to turn it around now in the server. They've taken the full 60-second pause here, Bacon, to just kind of figure things out and just, you know, realign their confidence levels, because right now it's not looking confident at all.
Like I said, it's all going to come down to team plays to be able to make your way around the Spartans. So the Claymores, they got to get talking a little bit more. You saw them with their build-up plays. Definitely, I know it worked for Calcife, but not for Shots or Chief. They've got to go up together and near enough get a lot of width into their play. They've got that in defense. It's very good. But when they get down to their opponent's half, they lose that width. And purely that's because they need to move from being so wide on each wall and try and hone on into the center. Try and, you know, spearhead an attack.
I'm going to spearhead an attack based off of that pressure that they've had as well. Obviously, Bacon, so much time spent up in that red half. They've got to turn it to some goals, and they've got to turn it to some games. 2-0 for the Spartans. One more will end it up here as we go to China to try see if they can close it out on the Spartans side. Def and Boy School Q up here to the box. Early part of this game trying to look for an opening shot, and they almost allowed one here, but the counter-action from a Chief and Shots in the early game is looking a lot better so far here in game 3 than it did in game 1 and 2. But Zeph will still challenge over from the corner. Another good 50-50 puts it inside the box. That's Crisis' chance to strike right up there. How well placed was that?
Defense a little bit shaky here. Calcife really should have just allowed that for Chief to come on in. They've got to make quicker calls. But Crisis, seeing the opening, seeing the one place he needs to put that shot on target, and with such power, incredible stuff, and really a show of caliber. You can see this lad currently playing on Exilium. He has been fantastic there, and he's fantastic here.
Oh, Calcife close again towards the left-hand side of the box as the Spartans do get pressured again by the Claymore side, but Boy School Q with a decent doink and almost received there by Zeph, but Chief with that demo will end up with the save as well. Calcife pressing forward, pitching out from the corner, bumping one player out of the way, but no support from the rest of the Claymores. Good shot in from Shots. He swings it out of nowhere. Crisis is able to block it off regardless. So, nice start for the Spartans at this stage. Claymores unable to pass between each other, unable to get those necessary shots in that will give them the advantage. Crisis will control inside. Here comes Zeph again to the backboard. Second touch allowed for him. He gets close, but no cigar.
So close to the mark there. What a pinch as well. Then notice just the pressure coming out from the Spartans. Most teams would have backed off to the midfield line there, but no. They keep on hammering them. It's working because it's such an unusual strat. Calcife is so close. Don't get me wrong, I don't like those kinds of touches. but at the moment they're trying every darn thing they can, these two teams.
A little bit late to be the third man member of that play there. Shots, however, coming through with a dunk down. Here comes Calzafay, a nice open net, and great communication, great dribbling skill coming in from those two players. Going to be the crutch that the Claymores stand for. Back in at 1-1.
Shots is massive there. Perfect placement of the ball. Knowing that net is going to be covered, he's got to get right on the edge. So it bouncing on down towards the centre and picked up brilliantly. I was a little bit worried there from Calzafay because we've seen a couple of moments here this evening where some shots have been whiffed, but no.
What?
Comes
What? Oh my god! Did you see that? Touch first, backboard, forcing the own goal from a second touch. Oh my god, that is play of the week already. Spartans, 3 minutes away from claiming this series. And what a play to end it on if it goes that direction.
Shots has really got to pick himself up now. He is going to be kicking himself. And you can see he's trying, but maybe he's a bit too desperate. Pressure coming on, and the Claymores are in attack, but it's really going to amount to nothing. Ball moved off to the side, but look at the aggression coming out from the Spartans, making sure to hound that ball down. Crisis a little bit too far back here, so it will be handed off. But Claymores looking down the barrel of a gun right now at losing this series in a 3-0 manner. What a dismantle it be. Zeph is trying so damn hard, but these build-ups from him are something else this evening.
He's trying to one-up himself. Crisis in the midfield with control. Shots forced back as they return. Crisis, another good receiver from that midfield to take it into the corner. And now Chief has his own challenge once again in the midfield, beating out Boys School Q. Crisis up. Over with a challenge, Chief just bumping him out of the way, has no choice. Shot trying to set this up again, a good bump comes through, but the third man just can't commit to the shot. Calzafay desperately looking for his opening, but not a solid one's coming in. Passing down towards Shots, beaten out by the Spartans. Now Zephyr's got his control, a very dangerous man to have it apparently. Boys School Q comes in, back line, back to midfield. Calzafay blocks that off, trying to control in underneath Crisis, potentially above Zephyr, not to be. The save is still there, and the Spartans hold on.
Yeah, the problem right now is the Claymores are working with very little boost, so it's quite slow play. It's easy for the Spartans to come on in, intercept, and pick the ball up off them. They're in attack, nice bump there, but Chief, oh, he only just gets to it.
See how close the Spartans are getting towards this net as well. They're like inches away from the line.
He's got no boost right now. All he can do is that flick. He needs follow-up. Shots is so late to the party that everyone's already in the cars and on their way home.
Same thing for Clyde Claymores as a general, just sort of point over this series. The third man, the second man, the backup on the breakaways, just not been there for the Glaswegians. 60 seconds remain. Shots, Chief. Oh no! Oh, the second own goal for the Claymores! And that might just seal the deal.
Oh, that is a feels bad man right there. 57 seconds. And match point on the line. The Claymores have to find 2 or they are going home tonight rather embarrassed. Not able to convert that shots as well. They got to be careful, keep their heads cool. They cannot get desperate right now. Good defense coming out from Zeph. You got to think these lads are just going to defend right now. The Spartans, even with a couple of mistakes.
Here we go.
That is the opportunity, the silver lining. And Claymores have got a glimmer of hope.
33 seconds to get to 33 on that scoreboard, Bacon. Got to equalise against the Spartans. But it all comes down to how well they play this. They can't get desperate. They need to get confident. It needs to start with his kickoff. Good start from Calzafay for Zeph, straight down the centre line. Chief can't challenge Boys School Q, who'll take this one up. Crisis here to receive! And he bounces it high, back to a 2-goal differential. And the Spartans just put the gaps back in place.
And it comes down to so many little errors there from the Claymores. Originally that first hit, popping it into the air. The Spartans are always going to beat them to it. You're not getting rid of that ball. You're not setting yourselves up. You just handle it on over. The follow-up in defense not in place. 20 seconds now to get 2 goals. And it's looking all but over.
10 on the countdown. And Boys School Q passing up to Zeph. The best that Calcifer can do, can take it to the corner, but find no counter-attack as the Clyde Claymores tried so hard and got so far in those last few seconds, but in the end it will not matter. The Spartans will go 3-0 up against the former champions, I guess you could say at this point, Bacon, because that was not a champion's performance there from the Clyde Claymores. Oh boy, what a start as well for the new guns.
Yeah, the Spartans coming on in and basically hitting it out of Lincoln Park. As you gotta think, yeah, sorry, I had to do that.
I love that.
As they have just now near enough crowned themselves the unofficial champions belt owners, you know, as they have taken that title away as the best team from the Claymores, and they're going to hold on to that. You got to think, these lads now probably won't be able to see each other until the playoffs. We're expecting them to be the top two teams, so they won't be able to see each other until the finals. Unless something goes wrong and one of these two teams come out third in their group, it is going to be a long, long road until they can cause some real trouble and get some revenge to the Claymores.
Drama, I guess you could say,
I
is the
love
one
it.
thing. Oh man, what a again, what a match and what a start for the Spartans on the streams as well. 2-0 up in their group. The Claymores have got to go to 1-1. As you say, that means that by default the only way that they can see each other again is in those grand finals. And those are our expected grand finals teams here, Bacon. So at the very least they have that. But a small preview is what's to come when we hit Insomnia 66 potentially. It all depends whether or not the Claymores can hold on and whether the Spartans can keep up their streaks. But we'll have to go to a break and find that out and more as our second match is going to come up after this.
Time, lingering, pondering, save your space and wine. You are not a tree,
Just move if you don't like where you are, where you are, where you are. Every time I think about all the things I live without, motivates me, it's a do or die. Fear, no fear, it's worth a try. I lost people over pen. I don't regret it, and every time I think about it, all the time my heart forgives. I have given everything, but it's not enough. Fear, no fear, my heart can't stop. 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 You a meaning to erase your every morning. Just open up your eyes and you'll see that there's a meaning to the love-hate relationship. To the haters that wants that great. I can't hide from my fears no more. I can't hide from my fears no more. I lost people over petty shit.
Welcome back to the Belong Arena Clash. Welcome back to Series 2 after Series 1 was an absolute banger as the Stratford Spartans do claim victory above last season's champions of the Claymores. 3-0 though, Bacon. Not the result we were expecting, I think.
Exactly, and if you were to look on paper, it's not as shut out as you might think. They were very close games. I think that last game probably the furthest apart. But of course, if you didn't get to see that, you're only just tuning in now. Well, where are you up to? You missed such a fantastic series. Go watch the VOD afterwards. And, well, you want to stick around for the next game coming up on stream, Jay.
Go watch the VOD later. For now, though, we're ready to get into our second series. So we'll have to take a look and see exactly who is playing again. They've got a lot to live up to after that first series, but you can see who they are. The Ballymena Bears versus the Cardiff Saints here. A couple of names that we probably don't know the most out of. So I mean, we can only go off of what we really know from public domain. But Cardiff, they're the higher skill team, I think, Bacon.
Yeah, definitely Cardiff here, coming on in as the favourites. Ballymena, a new arena and also a new sort of like, I'm going to say team to each other. They would come on in as a couple of randoms, and they've got a lot of work to do, don't get me wrong, to improve themselves. And this is just going to be learning experience for them, I think. But who knows? Maybe these ranked warriors can have a little surprise for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, that's part of what the Arena Clash is all about. You know, they're it's about the opportunity for teams that are on the lower end of the bubble scene to potentially come up and do some decent work. You know, potentially Bacon. You know, and that's part of what this is about. So this is to be a learning experience for us as well. But I have to ask, obviously, you knew Boy School Q before I did, obviously, on this broadcast. Any names jumping out to you on this one?
Magic and Skull, I think, are going to be the two there. Of course, I've just got to point out Own Goals Jones. I absolutely love that name. And it's like, you know the die-hard fans when they sort of do own references, like it's very specific to games.
Do you think he's pulled the 500 IQ player where he created this tag specifically for the Arena Clash and planned it so he would come in on the second series on the day where the Clyde Claymores would score the most owned goals in any one series that they have ever had in the Arena Clash, Bacon?
If he does, he's a witch. I'm going to call that out right now. Secondly, who knows? But it's a fantastic name anyway. And that's one thing I do love about the Arena Clash is like you just get casual players that just like whatever name you want to go with, like, because you know you're not taking anything seriously. You come on in and have a bit of fun because you do get that sort of different divide. You've got the sweaty players here. I mean, we just saw a series with two very sweaty teams in Rocket League, and here we're coming on in probably for a little bit more fun, but also we can pick apart some little like nuances that these players have got and really point out some great little aspects from their play.
Yeah, we absolutely love doing that as well. We always love giving feedback and advice to those smaller players. And of course, from Champ to Diamond is what we've got on the server today. So maybe you guys can pick up a little something at home. For now, though,
bronze on the desk.
perhaps. We're going to go straight into the game now. Let's take a look at the first game of this best of 5 series. In the blue side, it will be the Ballymena Bears and the Cardiff Saints out in the red colours once again. The exact same colours as that last series here, mate.
Yeah, funny enough, that blue and red are quite popular colours. We've cut the fat of this series and come on in a little bit late, unfortunately, but oh, we're already seeing some great play, and the follow-up from Skull from Magic. I can't be smugger right now.
Yeah, you literally called this out before the game started. And Cardiff Saints, the two men that you wanted to highlight, have shown up in troves to kick things off here. The first being scored by the Saints as the Ballymena Bears get pressured in and controlled against, and that's really the difference between a Champ and a Diamond. Obviously, that level of mechanical skill that you can utilise to your advantage. Also, the shooting accuracy that we return, though. But Galaxy gets it back in control.
Yeah, just saw Crypto there in defense, not able to get the touch they wanted. See that, he's fallen off the wall. He was expecting a high pass, shot, dropped on down to the ground, realising that he's got a cover net, and timing was just a tiny bit wonky.
It's a 1-1 scoreline to start things off here between the two squads as Magic gets challenged once again. Skull takes back over to the centre. Good play from Magic. We'll see it up and over. Potato over to the sideboard. Good play in from Cytochrome. Magic will go up once again. Backball plays. Waterfall in this one directly in front of the net. It's okay. I thought that was an own goal moment. I've seen a little bit too much of the blue side getting own goals today, Bacon, but
yeah,
that was actually a decent play to get it high off the crossbar. Bit of an open space to work with for the Ballymena Bears, but Cardiff Saints are quickly sweeping in to try and deny the challenges coming through. Looking for their shots back in to make a 2-1 scoreline happen.
Yep, and just for the guys at home, Crypto is own goal Jones. A little bit of a name change up, I think, between systems. So don't worry about it. It's all good.
I wish it was own goal Jones.
Yeah,
I think we will.
Maybe next week if we get to see him there. And oh, starting to see a lot come out from the Bears. Getting right grizzly in there.
Lucario inside the box will put the ball. Cytochrome able to deny. Potato off the sideboard in from the ceiling. Flip coming through for the ceiling shot, but not able to make it happen. Lucario challenged, however. Good play coming in from Magic will buy them a lot of breathing room and to try and bump the players out of the way. They're all held out to the corner, but Galaxy is able to turn it around. Pick up the 100 to the midfield, looking for his shot in. Opportunities available, but only taking it to the left-hand side. So, you know, a couple of returns coming in from the Bears, and the Saints aren't really having a whole lot of easy times ahead of them here. Return coming in from Lucario again. Galaxy will try to take a shot, beat out one against Cytochrome. Alrighty then, 2-1 for the Bears. They take the lead.
Yeah, great little follow-up here from Galaxy. Skull doing his best, but you look... yeah, Chrome behind, just not really knowing where to go there. We did have a little look at the ranks, and he is the lowest ranked player on the team, so he is trying to learn from his two teammates. But when you're put up against players of much higher level, we're looking at Champ 2s and 3s here from Ballymena, you just aren't ready for that pace to come on out.
Ball up again to the blue half as Magic tries to set something up here to the box. Unfortunately, his teammates and Skull and Cytochrome could not go in for the overall shot. They take it out towards that corner though. Good challenge again from Galaxy. Pushing it out. Cytochrome pushed in once again over to the sideboard here. Potato. Beaten out onto Cytochrome now. Lucario off to the backboard. Skull will take control, 65 points of boost. Beat out two onto a third man as well, and that falls in a very dangerous position. Magic in with a strike. Point blank. It's too far wide though. Couldn't get up there in time. Cytochrome puts a slow ball onto the crossbar. It doesn't slip behind the net here, Bacon, so a couple of decent chances coming in from the Saints, but a lot of the similar sort of problems that the Claymores had in this one, but Skull catching all three players in the same position, 2-2 on the board. You're laughing.
Tactical whiff right now. Try to chase up onto it. Unfortunately couldn't, but it worked as a bit of a fake there. Skull's able to come on through and finish that off. Like I said, tactical whiff. That's definitely some Champ 2 play.
That is the biggest level of rubbish I think I've heard in my life. There is no such thing as a tactical whiff.
There it is.
Whiff?
Come on.
No.
It actually works. Like it's still a whiff, but it's a unintended fake. basically. And you get that a lot of ranked where just little mistakes come because they're not playing, you know, at the highest level. Right there is unfortunately a whiff that is not tactical.
Oh,
What a
magic.
shot.
Unfortunately, the Ballymena Bears making some of the more rookie mistakes currently in Rocket League.
Good
Two
pass.
players caught up inside that corner as Galaxy and Lucari did not communicate where their positions were and where they were coming from. No one on their right-hand side to swing out and get the save off the crossbar. So the Saints back in the lead and a single goal difference.
Single goal on only 45 seconds to find it from the Bears. Right now, it's just a solo attack coming out from Galaxy, and that's handed straight on over. Good little banger towards middle, but no one there to pick it on up. Potato, the lowest ranked player on this team. Sorry, no. It's Lucario. Lucario is definitely playing much higher than what his rank would suggest. I'm really impressed by him today, then.
Rocket League ranks broken?
Maybe. Just maybe.
Well, all the pro players are complaining about it, so we can complain about it here on the Arena Clash. But 10 seconds left, and the one thing we can't complain about is this scoreline, especially for the Bears. 3-2 down, going to try and return it. Galaxy trying to find his opportunities, but Lucario trying to kill that on the floor. Galaxy taking this one up, sets up Potato here for the backboard. A big miss will cost them the first game. Cardiff Saints will strike first in the best of 5.
Yeah, and I'm just going to point out there from Lucario, because I was a little bit surprised about that. I was just going through a little pad down there and just seeing, and a Plat 2 player, but his positioning was fantastic on that pitch, like definitely accounting to a lot of the work from Ballymena. But looking at the Saints, I think just for me right now, that connection between Skull and Magic, where they're just really a powerhouse on the attack. I have noticed that they're being a little bit careful from Chrome, where they're trying to mother him a little bit too much. Notice how either Skull or Magic always really hard back in defense because they don't have that trust yet. But of course, it's playing a lot safer and it's working.
Yeah, and I like the little connection. As you mentioned, there was the 2 players for you to watch, and they certainly have shown why they are watch-worthy, apparently. You know, again, the connections to score that first goal, and in the end, were able to just generally link up across the entire map. The rotations were always in place for the Saints. I really kind of enjoyed that whole thing from start to finish, to be honest. You know, it kind of exceeded my expectations, like you mentioned, with the Lucario playing in a much higher standard than what his rank seems to suggest. And, you know, the Saints, although they're you know, lower than Grand Champ, they're still able to hold a little bit of decent team play. And at that kind of rank, that's kind of a good sign.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, and one thing we've got to look at is how close this actually is. It's all coming down to both teams sort of making tiny little mistakes that are quite common in ranked. And for me, that's quite exciting because, of course, this is naturally what the Arena Clash is all about. It's just giving these guys a proving grounds to sort of try and advance and improve their skills here, whilst also having fun, of course. And right now, I can see these lads really growing from taking part here because naturally those little mistakes on LAN where you can talk to each other get fixed really quickly. And Cardiff Saints, who knows, this could be a team that might sneak into that sort of 4th place spot and make it to the playoffs.
Growing just a single game here for the Saints and the Bears. So let's see whether or not they'll be able to hold their own going into this second game. Again, the Saints up by 1 in this series. Let's see if they can carry it forward. And already they absolutely can. 3 seconds in. Skull and Magic again being the great connection of the Saints side.
Yeah, but it all comes down to that kickoff really from Skull. Just a powerful 50-50 straight on up there. Yeah, you can also say Magic with a follow-up, but don't expect those to come through too often. As generally at this rank, I haven't seen any real strats coming out on those kickoffs.
Ball out from Potato here from the sideboard. He'll go for a bit of a light shot out against Chrome. Might control that with a decent save. 2 players caught up to this right-hand side. Magic can try and punish it. He keeps it going inside the corner, though. He'll still try and set himself up for the overall shot. Try and bump one player out of the way. He may have forced Galaxy out of position for the moment, but not a lot of confident touches here from Ballymena in that back line. It might not be as ideal as they want it to be. Magic with a big miss, though. Potato could try and strike. No, Skull taking it over to the backboard one more time, and we'll try and follow suit, but we're talking about confident touches. The Saints also don't have many of their own, right?
Oh, that's a big loss into the middle, but the Bears not chasing up quickly enough on it. They do have it down to the corner, so it is buying breathing room. I want to see them hold up the midfield line right now. Don't let go of it. Big, powerful hit coming on out.
Oh, no!
Go on, Potato. No, again, too high. They've got to keep this ball down. They are their own worst enemies with their mechanics right now, and that is the worst to see.
Oh, boy. especially when they had an open net as well. Like, it was the perfect opportunity for them to be able to take control and get us back into 1-1. But no, the Saints holding on to their lead as a result of this. Magic to the sideboard, Cytochrome going up, dunking down, just pinched away by Potato. They're on the save using the crossbar and bumping players out of the way. Is he going to get a shot in? He does a count one officially, but it's Skull there with a save, so it will not go in. And he misses out on the second save. Magic will still be able to reciprocate and go from that corner. Potato will keep it in from the corner of his own right. Cytochrome and Skull, both players missing off the backboard, and he'll beat out Lucario, move forward as well, and not pick up the 100 boost, instead go for the ball challenge and keep it inside that corner of the blue half. Ballymena, big miss from Potato, open net. Potato swings out, and there will be no second player from the Cardiff Saints to try and challenge it. Galaxy unable to get a shot back in on the counter-attack either.
You can see as well from the Bears, all their foundations, their ideas are perfect. They have got a good understanding of Rocket League. It's just down to those mechanics. And unfortunately, rotations, good control of boost will only get you so far. You have to deliver on those shots. Coming down to the halfway mark, Jay, and the Bears are solid. They've just got to get a finisher.
2.5 minutes. Lucario in that corner, Skull up and over, blocked off, and he'll come forward again from the midfield line. Potato, the sideboard, big miss from Cytochrome, challenging on towards Magic, but Magic able to block it off, but they're going to continue pressing on this right-hand flank. Two players commit to it though, and unable to get the shot in, means that the Saints will take it back to the midfield and even further than that. Magic, in fact, getting a shot off. Galaxy has to take it away. Magic with a big miss again, a lot of missed touches and unconfident sort of positioning coming in from the Saints right now. The Ballymena Bears are punishing them for it, taking it close to the net. Potato sends it up off the backboard, looking for a second touch. She's a little bit lower than that one though, so no chances again for the Bears. They're unable to score this equaliser vacant.
Yeah, and right now I'm looking at this. The Bears talk to each other a little bit better. They need to get a bit more greedier with the ball. They're allowing each other to go for it, sure, and stay on the ball, but they need to cool off if you've got a better angle on it right in front. And that'll be well worked off to the side by Skull.
Bounced up in such an angle that I honestly thought it was just going to roll into the back of that net right there. Like, no one from the Saints was ready for that, and I wasn't ready for it either. Ballymena Bears almost stealing one, but they make a big miss out here in their own half, and although the lucky goal did not come through from the Bears, the confident goal will come in from the Saints.
Will indeed. 2-0. Already a game up, the Saints, and they're looking to pretty much replicate the first series of tonight and go for a sweep if they can. Right now it comes down to the Bears. Yes, build up is good. Yes, defense is fine, but that attack, the finishing touch is not there. Everything else is in place. You just need the icing on this cake.
60 seconds left. Magic in. Galaxy flicking it up. This is Skull's chance, as Magic's being a serious thorn in the side of the back line, but Lucario does recover and finds his way out of the blue half. Time is ticking. Needs to set up one of his teammates. Pass coming up, set up again for Potato, but way too far back. Playing from Galaxy, sets up Lucario again to try and finish it off, but it goes on the backboard instead. Potato still there in the centre line. Galaxy's going to try and cut this off at the midfield. Got 100 boost, he'll carry it pretty close. Second touch will not be allowed. Lucario puts it in though.
They need to pass Jay right now. You notice it's solo attempts at net, which is the easiest to save because you only got to think about one man. The idea, not communicated, of course, from Lucario, was looking for the pass, but no one's there to receive it. No one ready for it. So again, like I said, they're not talking to each other correctly, but that solo play is so close to the mark. Hopefully it'll bring them a little bit of confidence, but right now I think that's it. We're done and dusted.
Not quite.
There you go. You got to keep the ball up in the air. That is rule 1 of Rocket League, of course. And 2-0 in favour of the Saints. I mean, we predict them to win, but I don't think maybe this heavily.
I mean, it's a pleasant surprise because at the end of the day, I think it was a lot closer than I personally thought it would be. You know, because again, this is a more consistent team in terms of their rankings. You know, where there's a bit more of a skill gap between the highest player of the Bears, for example.
True.
I think in that respect that the Saints are doing about on par. I just wasn't expecting the Ballymena Bears to hold quite the stance that they did, to be honest. Because let's be real here, they're playing above their own ranks.
They definitely are, and like I said, you can see and we talked about it last season, how good rotations and the good mental aspects of the game can really get you far in Rocket League and how you can play above your rank. The problem is that the mechanics just aren't there. We've seen so many chances of them trying to go for aerials and, well, missing open nets. And you just can't do that. You got to think, those missed opportunities, there was enough to equalise it on out, and then who knows where they would go from there in overtime. So I think it just comes down to practice for the Bears.
And I'd also say for the Bears as well, practice as a team, because a lot of their common mistakes from positioning as well is the fact that they're all caught up in one area of the map. We talked about it quite a lot when we were back in the arena, and we said that one of the common mistakes to make is have all 3 players on one side of the pitch. And I saw in game 1 and 2 a lot of moments where the Saints scored against them and they were all held out in like the corner, for example, Bacon. So
they've got a good idea on spacing most of the time, but they can get a little bit flustered, the Bears. And like you said, it is getting caught up where they think, oh, I need to come on in. Just generally, it's normally 2 players getting caught up in the same corner, where they think, oh, I'm going to come on in and give assistance, but clearly they have not communicated that. So the original player is just sticking the ball, they'll flick it out, and then you've got 2 players caught in the corner. Last man can't go for that ball because naturally they need to get back into defense, and it just all goes pear-shaped from there. So right now from the Bears, it is just talk, and near enough everything you want to do or everything you're thinking of doing, communicate that to your teammate. Don't worry about talking too much. It doesn't matter. Yeah, comms might get a little bit muddled, from people talking over each other, yes, but that is better than just being dead silent.
Yeah, absolutely, because at least the communication and the information is out there, so you have at least something to work off of there, Bacon. But we'll see whether they can improve that. Again, the Saints will be up on a 2-0 match point for them, a full-blown reverse sweep for the Ballymena Bears. Let's see if they can pull it off. We're now in space to see whether or not they can aim for the stars, Bacon. The ball goes set up for the Cardiff Saints. Initially from that blue corner, unable to get the shot in for Skull. Potato blocks it, becomes the demolition sacrifice for the Ballymena Bears, denying the early advantage for the Saints. This play out here not received by his teammates. The Saints will just back off, maintain the midfield control. Magic to the backboard might set things up. Big miss from Potato, and the shot from Skull is allowed in full.
And it was all set up to favour Galaxy here with the map. But no, unfortunate little whiff there.
Nice.
Rotation back just not in place on the ground. And yeah, that is a good capitalisation from Skull. I pointed out Skull before the match alongside Magic and just what this duo can do. And it really shows. They have absolute class.
Skull up, good shot from Lucario though, as he actually beats him to the ball. A bit of a surprise there from the Saints. I didn't see that one coming either.
No, there you've got it, and this all comes down a little bit to the lack of trust that they have in Chrome there. We know Skull and Magic are great together, but they do have that, like I said earlier, that little bit of distrust in Chrome. And so they went for another hit, which was not needed. Chrome would have easily had that out, so they undone their own work there. 1-1, and it's all down to the Saints.
45 seconds in, this one certainly has not been lacking in the goal counts, and it will continue to grow as the pass in from Cytochrome this time is received by Magic, and he gets a 2-1 on the board for Cardiff Saints.
Yeah, interesting choice, their placement from Potato, but then it comes around to the follow-ups essentially not being put in place. Good little hit in from Magic. And there you go. Redemption for the Saints right now as they reclaim that 1-goal advantage.
Well, Potato here, challenged again to the sideboard. Saito over to Magic, a boom shot coming out from the Ballymena Bears, but they're reading this to be quite out of position. Potato down, receive ball coming in from Galaxy, and it pinches off the crossbar and out at the hands of a Saints defender lurking in that net. Potato out of the boost. He managed to fake out. Lucario not doing anything. I don't know what that was, but all that great positioning we praised him for in the pre-game is now suddenly gone completely remiss.
I am literally, that's a new thing. I've never seen something that ridiculous before. Photo bombing in Rocket League. Nah. Not what I want.
Ooh. A shot from Magic, follow up from Skull. That one is much closer to the target, and the Ballymena Bears just couldn't get a good read onto this one. Saints in their position, and the shot placement is just really good right now. Bacon 3-1 on the board. Saints are dominating here in game 3.
So Potato should have never left that backboard. He thought he had come to ground, probably thought he had a little bit more time to work with. But no, you stick up on that backboard to cover the top shelf. He had a player below that could cover the lower, so you've got everything.
Oh, that block.
Yeah. No words for this. Everyone saw what happened.
Here's the thing, in normal circumstances that would actually be like, you know, relatively decent, but the fact that the Saints were just up on the chase away and they were on the counter attack, like,
I'm impressed just by how that was dead, you know, right in front of net. You don't see that too often.
Certainly a clear, could have been more ideal for the Ballymena Bears, and you can see the scoreline is starting to get to their confidence line. Missed balls coming in from the Saints though, so it's not all bad news. Potato high of the crossbar. And Galaxy back on with a decent shot. It should be blocked by Cytochrome, no trouble from him. And off the ceiling, he'll put it out against Magic. He'll try and take it even further. Galaxy again going to put a slow ball on target. So we'll take that back to the centre line. Potato coming up in rotation to the right-hand field. He's got no boost to defend the midfield from his teammate in Lucario. Swings out, goes backboard. Here comes Galaxy with a second opportunity, but Magic gets higher and gets the ball before him. Cytochrome also with a pinch out. That's on target. Potato, what are you doing, man? Why didn't you swing out? Why didn't you go get the save?
Gonna have a quick little rewatch of this. Good pinch coming out there. I don't think it was intended at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He thought he would come towards him. He wasn't expecting us on the left-hand side. Okay.
Not planned, but they'll take it. 5-1 at the halfway mark here, Jay. Incredible stuff coming out from the Saints in the goal department. But we look... Again, shot accuracy just off from the Bears. And one problem is they're just going straight to net each and every time with their hits, Jay. They've got to push it to the corner and try and work up to a goal.
4 goals to find in 2 minutes for the Ballymena Bears, and they'll come close to the defence here in the blue half. But yeah, awkward touches left, right and centre, and now double commit on the positions. Galaxy will come in with a bit of an aerial dribble, but way too far away from the ball control, so Cyclone can hold the defensive pretty confident. From this corner, Skull will miss out. Magic will be able to chase it from the midfield. Beat out one. Galaxy with a decent intercept. Looks like it was a shot on target, in fact, but Cytochrome there with a quick counter on the save. So the Saints just not letting anything past the line here. Ballymena Bears are now double committing of their own right in the blue half, and when it gets to that defensive line, it started to severely crumble in these latter parts of the games. Backboard play pushed out by Galaxy, so fortunately no sick goal for the Saints.
Indeed, and that going right across is fine. Chrome will just get that down to ground. This is really the time where they got to charge. Good follow-up here from Galaxy. Oh, just demoed at the last second. Crazy stuff, and Magic doing great on these 50-50s to get it away.
Ooh,
nice little hit.
Oh,
Chrome does well. He has really stepped up here in game number 3, Chrome.
Trying to maintain some sort of presence here for the Cardiff Saints because they need a hell of a way back. Ballymena Bears struggling. Double commits, triple commits to him in the midfield. It's not looking great for them. Block off again, could be punished, but Galaxy only going so far as that one good shot. Magic's going to chase it down. Skull with a decent shot coming through. A Potato able to counteract it. Galaxy now in with control. Shot will be denied by Cytochrome, so he won't even go that much further than this one. But even if they're unable to score a 6 for the Saints, no, 30 seconds on the clock. Ballymena Bears have such a hard task ahead of them. Less than 10 seconds a goal in order to put this back to evens, and the outset is not looking likely. Galaxy will get an open net, never mind. Skull swings back in and maintains presence of the lead and presence of the back line, and that's wasted half of the allotted time that they had to get under control of this. So final countdown, 10 seconds to the clock, and I think we all know where this one's going. 3-0 for the Saints, 5-1 in game 3, and although game 1 and 2 were pretty confident from the Bears, in the end the skill difference got to them by the end of the series.
Yeah, the biggest problem there for the Bears is they've just got to work that defense. They've just got to pull out the defenders. Whether that means passing between themselves, which you didn't get to see too much of there, or hitting it towards that backboard to rebound for yourself. They're just not doing that. Like I said, they're just going straight to net, and you can only shoot the score if you've got no one in net. Right now, there's always a player able to jump across and get that block, and
seems like a pretty obvious little statement, to be honest, to a certain extent.
Well, I'm just saying, you shoot the score, of course, but right now they're just hitting the ball up against near enough a player each and every time. They're not going to get a goal of that.
Truth, pretty much truth right there. Well, there you go. That's the end of the Bears. In the end of the day, we did expect the Saints to be the overall victors of that series, and it's certainly a good day for the teams in red, as the Spartans also took a 3-0 bacon. Yeah. So maybe that's the blessed colour. Maybe it's the shirts, man. You wore blue, I wore red. I win. I've won today, is what's happened here.
We give them the little victories, it's fine.
Still a better caster. And with that, we're going to end off for today on the Belong Arena Clash. Some pretty interesting games. Again, a big one in the start of things as well for the Stratford Spartans. Obviously, a big victory for them going forward, Bacon. And I'm excited to see what that team and the Clyde Claymores will do going forward in Group A.
Oh yeah, definitely. For me, it's all going to be a redemption arc for the Claymores right now. They have had that crown snatched away from them, and they've got to build up and take it back. And it is going to be a couple of weeks until I'm trying to think now. It's a good 5-6 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
How long until Insomnia? It's a while away.
It's in April, so it's like 2 months or so.
That is a long wait. The tension is going to be brilliant by the end of it, and I can't wait to see that.
Well, we'll keep you up to date with all those results and all the developing storylines as the weeks go on for Belong Arena Clash. But for today, we are done with Week 2. Week 3 returns next week at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, twitch.tv/Belong Arenas, as you would expect, with myself, the Eternal J, and Digital Bacon. But for tonight, we're going to end. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for Overwatch and next week for even more Rocket League action.